What's up, guys? My name is Noah. This is the Gunroad Garage, and today we're introducing my new project. Alright, so this is my 1977 Chevy Camaro. So I've owned this for about a year and a half now, and I've done quite a bit on it already. If you know anything about Camaros, you can kind of tell the front end does not look like a 77. So I kind of have some pretty ambitious goals for this car moving forward here, and I figured I'm going to show you guys that. And yeah, so you can see on the thumbnail, I have a very ambitious rendering of what I would, ideally like this to look like. And that's kind of what I'm going to shoot for, and hopefully we can get there and I can take you guys along for the ride. So a little bit about this Camaro. So I bought it about a year and a half ago. It was sitting in a guy's backyard for 10, 20 years, and was not neglected, but it was just, just sitting. So ended up buying it off of him, got it running pretty good. It's a 350 small block car. It was pretty rust free, thankfully, and you can see some of the body is a little, you got some rust spots here and there, but overall it was a pretty solid car. So I had to replace the passenger side floorboard and little spots here and there, but really that was it that needed work done. Other than that, it's been pretty nice. Obviously the front end is different, so that's a 1970 to 73 front end. Well, this is a 77. They're all second gen, so everything basically bolts up, but it changes over the years. So a little more on that all later as we get further into this. It has some just newer wheels on it that I got off Craigslist, and just little things here and there. But really the majority of the work that I've done on it has been in the interior. So the interior was pretty gross in this car just because the seals on the doors weren't, they just kind of wore out, and water got in. So basically everything inside got pulled out. The seats were gone, carpet stripped it, door panels, headliner, everything, and just started new. So like I said, passenger side floorboard, all that patched up, kind of like I did on my Jeep. I did you can see right here, so I bedlined the whole tub and everything, and then I went with a sound deadener, so that's everywhere. And then this is actually new carpet. It's just dirty. It needs just to be vacuumed, but I did a really thick, nice carpet in here with a good rubber backing on it just to bring noise down. I redid the whole dash on it, so it's all repainted and came out pretty good. Some carbon fiber wrap on that. Steering wheel, you can see right there, just a switch panel because I was bored. But yeah, so everything in here has actually come quite a long way in just the drivability of it and the comfort. It still needs door panels and all the trim pieces, which I do have. American flag headliner, of course, and then the Sparco seats, which were quite an investment. But yeah, so I really wanted to focus on the interior so that it just felt more comfortable to drive and wasn't gross. And I actually ended up daily driving this car for about 3 months last year when my Jeep broke, and it was honestly not too bad. So interior has come a long way. So coming around back again, if you know really anything about these Camaros, that's not a 77 back end, it's a 79 to 81. And so this is actually something I just did. I had the taillights, the bumper, and kind of all that. I got a lot of extra parts, so I just converted it over to this back end just because I like it a little better than the 77. But my final plan is to actually change all this out to a 70 to 73 tail panel. That back end, it's just more sleek. It'll just match the front better. but I don't necessarily want to make it a 70 to 73 clone. So I kind of have some ideas that I'm going to incorporate into that to make it its own car. But again, more on that later, as we progress through this. But yeah, overall, it's come along pretty far. That's my dog Joey. And then yeah, so for the front, like I said, we did a 70, 73 front end. This is the grill. It slides in and out. It's some of that perforated steel you can get at Home Depot, and honestly looks pretty cool. So that might end up staying. All right, so like I said, a 350 small block. It looks a little rough, but it was actually rebuilt some years ago before the guy parked the car. So it's fairly low mileage. It runs okay. It fires right up. I have a Brawler 750 carb on it. Other than that, I haven't really done too much, just kind of general maintenance and stuff to actually make it run. But nothing too crazy right now. As far as my plans for the engine goes, I'm not 100% positive yet. I've been kind of bouncing back and forth between doing an LS or keeping the 350. I've been looking around at doing maybe new aluminum heads for this and a cam, but not sure yet. Ideally, I'd like to supercharge whatever's in this at some point. I just really like the idea of a supercharged muscle car, so that's more or less the plan. But as far as the power plant goes, I'm not positive yet. I'm still figuring that all out. Alright, so you can see overall runs pretty good. Not exactly the best, angles on that or sound quality, but you guys kind of get the idea. So yeah, runs pretty good. Now as far as my plans go for, from this point on, we got a few things that I got to do before we jump into body work. And I really want to focus on getting the mechanical side of this car, really straight and ready to go. And reliable before we get to doing all the crazy body work and making it look really good. And so the first thing is, if you can see right here where the steering box mounts to, so on this frame it's actually rotted through, so that's not good at all. Obviously, and I can't give you the best angle, but you can see kind of right in there I have it plated with some 3/16 steel, just so that it could be drivable. But long term it's not not ideal. So the fix for that for me is going to be, you come over here, I have a whole new, not new, used subframe for the front of this car that the guy I bought this car off of was generous enough to give this to me as well. And so on that subframe, all of this right here is just gone. This one is 100% solid, in really, really good shape, with the exception of the surface rust. I mean, it's really solid. So the plan is to basically wire wheel this down, get it as clean as possible. Everything that unbolts will come off. I got all new steering coming for it, all new bushings, ball joints. Everything that moves is going to get replaced, and should look pretty good. We're going to do kind of like I did on the Jeep frame. I'm going to do a pour 15 on this, and we'll paint it, and that way when we put it back in the car, it'll look great, and should handle really good. It'll drive like it should. Right now there's a little bit of play in the steering and whatnot, so really excited to start that. That's going to be our first kind of project we're going to do on this. Alright, so now I'm going to cut to basically everything that's been done since I got it till now. And I can show you guys kind of the process I've been doing. All right, so that's going to do it for this episode. In the next episode, we're going to start cleaning up the subframe and getting it ready to get put in. And along with that, we got a set of some nice QA1 coilovers. So if you want to see those and you want to see the process of this build, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.